Welcome to Starengu. I'm your host, Tasha Johnson. In today's podcast, we're going to discuss why you need to be selfish in business. Now, I know that title sounds pretty crazy because let's face it, when you're kids, it's ingrained in you that you don't want to be selfish. However, as you grow older, you need to have a balance in life. And there are 3 areas that you absolutely have to be selfish in. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. Those 3 areas that you need to be selfish in are your time, your talents, and who you choose to bring on as your clients. So let's tackle the first one, your time. It's important to make sure that you can account for all of your time throughout the day. If the day goes by and you can't even pinpoint what you accomplished, then you just wasted an entire day. Now, I'm not talking about like when you're on vacation, feel free to waste your time as you see fit. However, in business, you should be able to pinpoint, I finished X amount of projects and I have X amount of projects left to go. You need to be able to pinpoint where you are in your project list, especially if you work a 9-to-5 like I do. So again, I know I've mentioned this in previous podcasts, but I've got a lot of side hustles. So for those of you that are new to this podcast, here's a quick rundown of what I do on a daily basis throughout the week after finishing my 9-to-5. And it varies, depends on the day. So I could be either working on my voiceover work, consulting with small business owners, teaching English online, or taking Spanish classes, or, and this is a new one that I'm probably going to be talking about on my Hustle and Faith podcast, but I've decided to really get serious about trying to become a certified fitness trainer. So that's in addition to my 9-to-5, not replacing the 9-to-5. So again, I have a lot of different side hustles, and all of these things are not only fun for me, but they allow me the opportunity to gain or hone my skills that are going to help me grow my own business. So I'm always constantly making sure that I can account for my time in order to make sure that I'm able to improve my business. So everything I do is geared towards being productive and making sure that I'm also able to help other people out. So if you don't have time to do any of the things that are going to enable you to truly invest in yourself and things that you truly wish to do in the future, then that means that you're not being selfish enough with your time. If you don't set aside time for yourself, other people will gradually come in and steal it from you. And it's no one's fault but your own. You're in charge of your time, and I know a lot of people succumb to peer pressure. I work a 9-to-5, okay? I have the same number of hours as you have in the day. After work, people are always inviting me to happy hours, or they're always inviting me to go out to lunch. However, if you know that you have a goal and there's only so many hours in the day to accomplish that particular goal or project, you've got to make the tough decision. And again, it's a no-brainer to me, but to each its own. But again, you need to make the tough decision. Do I want to go spend time with my coworkers, or do I want to go home so I can work on projects that are much more fulfilling and are going to help me get further in life? You have to make the call. I can't make that call for you, but I know from a personal standpoint that I've always made the right decision by making the decision to invest in myself. Now, a lot of people may be like, oh my goodness, she's constantly working. But that old adage, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life, comes to mind. I thoroughly, guys, emphasis on thoroughly, enjoy my side hustles. They're way more fulfilling to me. And it may look like work to other people, but it's not to me. So I'm extremely selfish with my time. And if I don't think that I'm going to have fun, or it's not going to help me be a better person in the future, I don't even think twice about it, guys. I'm just not going to go to that event or do whatever that person's asking me to do, regardless of whether they're my boss or my coworker, loved one, whatever. I'm at that point where I have to make sure that I am doing something that's fulfilling for me. And it's as simple as that, okay? I know I've angered quite a few people with my choices, but guess what, guys? It's my life. So that's something you're just going to have to come to terms with. Now, again, everyone is not going to be happy with how you decide to spend your time, especially if you're doing something productive, because you're a constant reminder to that person that they also could be doing something more productive with their life, but they choose not to do so. Again, it really doesn't matter. Your opinion is the only one that's most important. As long as you're happy with how you spend your time, that's all that matters. Now, the second thing that you need to be selfish with is your talents. I cannot stress how many times people have contacted me. Hey, Tasha, I just want to pick your brain on such and such. Now, I know this is also going to sound harsh, but I need to keep my brain cells to myself and those who wish to pay for my knowledge. If you don't have the money, then you must be willing to invest your time. If you don't have the time, then you must be willing to pay for the shortcut. Now, you have to have a balance with how much you're willing to share your talents. There are a lot of soul-sucking people out there that will just take without reciprocating in return. So perfect example, guys. There are so many people that I personally know that have had this done to them, or attempted, emphasis on attempted, to do this to me as well. They want to go out and get coffee and have all these Skype sessions to talk about their ideas. And just a little background, okay? My degree is in marketing and communications. So I provide a shortcut, which is done via consulting, my online courses, workshops, things of that nature. So if someone is constantly looking for free sessions, you're encroaching on my time and preventing me from connecting with those who truly value my time because they're willing to pay for it. So there's nothing wrong with contacting people, but expecting them to give you all the answers without compensating them is absolutely insane. Do your homework. Before you start enlisting other people's opinion and help, have you gone on YouTube and done everything that you can to research your endeavors for free before contacting someone like me? I provide, again, a lot of information for free on my website and my YouTube channel. And I share a lot of digital marketing, productivity, technology tips and tricks. So I have a lot of different tutorials on my YouTube channel. They're very hands-on, but there's 2 tutorials in particular that I am constantly getting questions and feedback. People want feedback and whatnot from, and they're regarding MailChimp. Now, I offer these tutorials on MailChimp as a part of a free trial for my Slay with WordPress class. And so that course is the Slay with WordPress course, teaches you not only how to build your own website, but how to promote it as well. And so as a part of the free trial, I have on my YouTube site the MailChimp videos that are part of that particular course. Now, I get a ton of thank yous, okay? And you can easily go take a look at that, at the tutorials. I'm not making this up. I get a ton of thank yous. But the comments that I'm always amazed by are the ones asking for me to make additional videos answering their specific problems, or for me to contact them so I can help them out with their very specific issue for free. Like, those never cease to amaze me. I'm amazed by those. If I didn't have common sense, guys, I would never get anything done, nor be compensated for my time if I did everything for free. My time is just as valuable as yours, and I commend people for trying to resolve their problems, but if you want someone to address your very specific issue, then you have to be willing to pay for what? The shortcut. You have to pay for shortcuts, right? So clearly, you're doing something wrong, and so you're trying to look for a shortcut. Again, I have to admit though, guys, it's incredibly rude to ask someone who's already provided a lot of information for free. Again, these tutorials are a part of a bigger course. If you really want the answers to your questions, then you either purchase the course or you can contact me for a consultation. And I'm really affordable. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me, but again, this may sound cold, this may sound harsh, but these freebie chasers are the very same people that will keep coming back to you with more and more questions because you're clearly not taking ownership of your own time. So at some point in time, you've got to put your foot down, right, guys? So many people have the misconception that creative entrepreneurs should be giving away all of this information for free. And so the freebie chasers, that's what I call them, are taking ownership of their time by trying to get the answers that they need to solve their problems. So you need to do your part and get compensated when they get stuck. Now, I'm very balanced again with how I share information. So if you take a look at my blog, you're going to see that I've provided a ton of information for free. And just a side note, guys, if you choose to go with someone who's in consulting, take a look at what they're offering for free. Because if the free information is amazing, imagine what you're going to get if you pay for additional information that's specifically customized to satisfy your needs. I know, mind-blowing, right? So if you encounter folks that feel differently, those are the people that you don't want to bring on as your clientele, which is point number 3. You have to be specific with who you choose to bring on board to work with you. Money is not everything. Here's the thing, guys. In the event that you've got a very fussy client, they're actually preventing you from being able to work on projects that would be much more fulfilling and profitable. Why? Because you're slaving away, you're draining your energy with busy work for a client that's never going to be pleased. You're setting yourself up for failure. There's nothing worse than working with people who don't value your time and your skills. And just to bring this point home a little bit further, a lot of people are going to complain about your pricing. Okay, if you're in business, it just goes hand in hand. You're going to have someone inevitably complain about your pricing. So I customize all of my prices. So I'm just going to throw this out as an example. Let's say I charge, I don't know, like $50 an hour. Okay, someone's going to complain about paying you $50 an hour is clearly someone that's not willing to invest in themselves. And this is the exact same person that will go out and spend $50 on a fancy meal, getting a mani-pedi, getting their hair done, and the list goes on. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with spending money on those things, guys, but you've got to be fair. If you're complaining about someone's pricing for $50 an hour, think about this. They're providing you with a shortcut. That shortcut contains information that's going to help you in the future. Getting your hair or your nails done or all that stuff, that's temporary. Okay? So the person who holds the answers to your questions is giving you knowledge that could potentially help you gain new skills, which will in turn help you generate more money. So I taped this episode to encourage my creative entrepreneurs to be selfish with your time, your talents, and who you choose to bring on as a client. So I'm curious, how do you learn how to be selfish in these areas of business? If you're using the Anchor platform, you have the ability to call in to this particular podcast in order to leave your comments. Again, thanks so much for listening to today's podcast. Please be sure to check out Starengu's website. I'm confident that, again, my side hustle of helping others to invest in themselves via my YouTube channel, my podcast, and most importantly, my online courses could be of assistance to you. My courses are geared towards teaching people how to create their own website and promote their endeavor through digital marketing and so much more. Remember, if you're everything to everyone, then you risk being no one. You never know who you may inspire. See you in the next podcast.